Hey, welcome back to another rainy, cold, wet day in the Northwest, but a happy day because I got parts. So we are digging back in on the Bumblebee car. I've got the new brake lines, going to install those and see if we can pull this out of the shed for the first time on its own power in many years. We're right where we left off the last time we were working on this. Got the fronts off and this one brake line cut out and ready for a new line to go in. See how much fluid. Oh, just a little bit of fluid drained out of it. So this line's clear, but I'm assuming there might be some fluid left in the master. I will get the lighting situated a little bit and start installing the new lines. Okay, first step is going to be to take a look at this bleeder and see if it's clear. I assume that it will be, but sometimes these will get blocked up. The line's hooked back up and make sure that we can drive this. Yeah, we're clear. But I will put just a little bit of grease on these threads because they are not happy. And we'll snug that back up for now. Okay. I'm gonna just go ahead and remove this line as well, and then I'll be able to compare the length before I start the installation. Hit all of these fittings with a little bit of PB Blaster. So I'll start breaking these free. 9/16 to hold the line, 9/16 to break this free. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay. Need to grab the oil capture. There we go. Basically finger free. Okay, and the brake hopefully is free. Oh, it's tight. That one is stuck. $16mm doesn't seem to come with regular kits, but I did have one, and hopefully I can get this on here well enough to break this free. No. So that's going to be a little tricky to get off. Start putting the new line in. That guy goes up there, and we just snug it up. Oh, right. Process. Got to hook this up first. Nothing replaces coming out and doing things. So little silly things like, hey, you have to install this side before you lock down this side. I just hope this encourages other people who've always wanted to do it to come out and not worry about making mistakes and having a good time. Well, bitter defeat. The end of the hose that screws into the caliper is coarse thread, and the one that's on the MG is fine thread. But it looks like O'Reilly's actually has a cheap Brake Best brake line for this that looks from the pictures on the internet to have the same thread, and that should be in by 2/15. So we're gonna wait for the O'Reilly shipment and go pick up the potentially fix-it brake lines. We're back again for attempt 2, this time with the O'Reilly's version of the brake line, hoping that this is the correct thread to lock into this brake caliper. All right, let's see if that is gonna screw in there. All right, that did thread on, but I am missing the crush washer. It didn't come with the new lines, so I might have to pick up one of those, but I think we might be able to at least get this system bled and the car out of the shed, and we'll come back and put the crush washer in it. All right, new brake line is snugged up and ready for bleeding. Back on the MG, we're pulling this brake line off to get a crush washer put in. It's like a nice cushion between the brake line and the caliper. And special guest, Sissy here today, helping out. There's a little washer on top there.
Yeah.
This guy here. Is it hand tight? No. Other way. There you go. Right on time. Thanks, bud. What? Just got a generic crush washer kit off Amazon. See if one of these looks like it's gonna fit. Is it that one? Brake line's going back in. Okay. And then brake lines are in. It's time to top this off and start bleeding. The air unit should allow us to bleed this more easily. And it looks like there's a reservoir that just sits on the top of the brake master reservoir. And then I gotta take a look, but this is probably what connects to the bleeder. And hook an air hose up to the back of this guy and pull the fluid through it. This little pizza box holder with the 3 feet screws onto the end of this and then just sets over the top of the fluid reservoir, and that's how the kind of keeps it stable. Okay, fluid bottle is ready. All right, this guy goes on here. And so everything should be hooked up, bleeder's open, fluid's in the reservoir, and gonna hit the air and it should start pulling it. Okay, so you can see the reservoir is coming up, and if this works properly, it'll be like a siphon filler, and it'll stop and just keep feeding. The other thing is, I might not have opened this bleeder enough, so I'm going to go a little bit further, just make sure that's getting enough freedom. And I did. Okay, I think we are ready to test and see where we're at on the brakes. So we'll pop this off. And this is spinning a little bit tight, but it is spinning. I'm gonna throw the wheel on there and turn this and see if the brake will stop it. And Mom's here. Hey, Mom. Well, we have to declare some really sad news, and I feel guilty, bad. But the emblem that goes on the tire, I thought we were being careful, but we were not. is scratched the snot out of it and broke the glue joint off of the wheel.
Where's he at?
So that's a shame.
What are you doing?
I will glue it back on and hopefully we'll get another one eventually, but just no reason for that. And probably the same story on the other side. Okay, popping the wheel back on, and then going to verify the brakes are running. Drop this down, fire it up, and hopefully drive it out of the shed. Check this down. Oh, it's got time for the lights. Wow. Now I need you to spin the wheel, and I'm gonna hit the brake and see if you can still turn it.
Okay.
Okay, cap's going back on for the master. And I'm gonna hop in the rig, which I have to go around this side for now. And Mom's gonna check to see if the brake's working.
I did this backwards. I should be climbing over.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, spin it.
Oh, it stopped.
All right, that's good enough. Well, I've been super curious now. So I cold started this after I had run it pretty recently. It's now been a couple of weeks, and it hasn't been run, and it's still pretty cold out. So I'm gonna hop in, choke it, and see if we can just get it to fire up and go from there. Heat it. Once the ignition. Fans are running. Get some choke. Let's see what we got. One, two, three, 4, 5. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back to battery charger. Take the choke off for a second, which I think we're still gonna need it, but. Interesting. There we go. Might have been just a little bit low on battery to get fired up. So let it sit here and start warming up with the choke on. Bring it in just a little bit. And as it starts coming up to temperature, get the choke off. Okay, RPMs are coming up, it's warming up. Start bringing this choke down here. There we go, got a half choke. Still hasn't come up off the temperature at all. So I'll leave the choke in a little bit, keep the RPMs up. I gotta deal with this madness so that we can actually pull this out, but I guess I want to wait till we're ready to get out of here. Okay, time to get her off the blocks, down on the ground, tighten those wheels up. Oh, I gotta scoot it over. Coming down. Try there. Okay. Straighten the wheels out and drop this down. Make sure that we tighten the lugs down then. There we go. Get the wheels straightened out. One side. Grab the one from this side. Everything looks clear. Make sure that this isn't too close to the car. Okay, looking good. Coming down. Oh, let's grab that. Get that under there. There we go. Okay. Back down on her wheel. don't need the lamp anymore. Okay. Idling, 10,000 RPMs. 950. So this is all nice gravel driveway, but as we come over here, a lot of mucky and mud. So I got to get through this and not get stuck, which I think will be all right. And we do have a little bit of a gravel way here leading up to the shed, which is nice. But Bumblebee car is ready for a voyage out of the shed up to the top of the property where she rightfully belongs, under the carport. So now gonna disconnect the exhaust system that's attached to it and get ready to pull this thing out. Bumblebee car's ready, detached from the exhaust system. Pops is gonna tape and I'm gonna see if we can drive it out. Here we go. Got limited time on the ignition system because there's no charging. Go stuff, man. Stop! Well, Bumblebee car is back with pride up under the carport. We overfilled the wood stack, so it's sticking out, but we'll take care of that. And ready for a nice cleaning, wax it up, fine tune on a couple of parts, see if we can get the charging working on it, and start taking it out where she belongs. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Bye-bye.